Hello and welcome to the StudyTravel TV studio in London. I am Matthew Knott.
And I'm Clarissa Waldron.
And here is our roundup of the latest StudyTravel news stories.
The headlines this week: partial recovery for South Africa's English schools,
Decline in US intensive English sector,
and Holmes Education enters Ireland with acquisition. We start this week with some positive news from South Africa's English language sector.
Yes, indeed. Member Schools of Education South Africa experienced a 19% increase in international student numbers last year. According to data revealed to StudyTravel magazine, member schools welcomed a total of 8,700 students.
However, the total was still below the sector peak of more than 10,000 students in 2014, recorded just before the introduction of new visa regulations hampered the ability of language schools to welcome student visa students.
A large increase came from Brazil, which grew by more than 50% to become the biggest source country again, which Johannes Kraus, chair of the association, attributed to an improved exchange rate and strengthened partnerships with the Brazilian agency sector.
In terms of regions, there was also growth in student numbers from Europe, the Far East and the Middle East, which more than doubled, but losses from Africa continued with an 18% decline. Angola, a key source market previously, has been struggling with oil prices and foreign currency restrictions, Johannes said.
Although an agreement was reached between Education South Africa and the government last year, allowing the association's schools to receive students on study permits for 18 months, Johannes said implementation of this had been slow and that solving this problem was the most pressing issue currently for the association.
Less positive data from the USA, however, where enrolments at intensive English programs decreased by 18.7% in 2016, according to figures released by the Institute of International Education.
Presenting at the 2017 NAFSA Annual Conference and Expo, the association said that there were 108,000 full-time students on F1 visas studying at 430 providers last year.
China became the #1 source country, leapfrogging Saudi Arabia, which fell to second place due to restrictions to Saudi Arabia's scholarship program in early 2016.
All countries in the top 10 declined in student numbers, except Mexico, which was bolstered by the 100,000 strong in the Americas funding initiative.
Also presenting SNAP enrolment data from a member survey, Cheryl Delclagood, Executive Director at English USA, said 3/4 of schools had witnessed a decline in enrolments, with exchange rates and visa policies cited as reasons.
Australia-based Holmes Education Group has entered the Ireland ELT sector with the acquisition of English Language Academy, or ELA, in Dublin, which will be incorporated into the company's Oxford House College division.
The purchase of ELA, established in 2007 and a member of Marketing English in Ireland, expands the Oxford House brand to 16 centres across 5 countries.
Holmes Education Group said that Ireland was a popular destination with favourable work rights and visa conditions, and that they plan to increase student numbers and diversity at the school.
And now a roundup of some of the other news stories this week. Spanish language provider AIL Madrid has opened a new school in the Andalusian city of Malaga. The provider said it would have the same quality but would provide a very different offering to the original school.
Languages International in New Zealand has announced new ownership, with the existing management team led by Darren Conway taking over from the original founders Chris and Francis Woolcott.
FDSV, the German Association of Language Tour Operators, has launched a new independently monitored quality seal, adhering to its own and European standards.
The University of California, Los Angeles, or UCLA, has launched a global online system where students from around the world will be able to attain a master's degree or certificate taught online. Initially offering a master's in engineering, the university plans to extend the suite across all faculties.
And the StudyTravel team have certainly been busy over the last week or so, enjoying the LA lifestyle and climate while over at the NAFSA conference.
Christina visited a few language schools in California, and the team attended receptions hosted by English USA and BMI Media.
Sounds lovely. That's all for this week from us here in the UK, where the nation is going to the polls in the general election today.
See our news story or video from 2 weeks ago for an analysis of how this might impact on international education at www.studytravel.network. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Goodbye.